Alright, here's my review of the Untitled Gear Fastpack EDC. I'm making this review after about 6 months of having the pack, running around with it, up and down the mountains, up in the cities, doing a few trips with it. So yeah, I didn't want to make this review just yet, just like I've told you guys before, that unless I've used a piece of equipment for a long period of time, I don't think I have anything of value to say. But now that I've had this pack for quite a while, about 6 months, I feel like I have a lot of things to say about it. First of all, if you want to know the specs, just go to Untitled Gear's website. You don't really need me to go over everything, but just so you know, in this typical 1000D Cordura mil-spec military specifications for everything, for the buckles, the stitching, the materials. Again, just like the Lightspeed backpack that I have, that you might have seen my other video, same materials, tough as nail backpacks. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you will know that I originally got this backpack the first time around about last year, but after using it for a couple of times, I ended up regretting it, so I sold it and I got a Mr. Ranch 3-day assault backpack instead. Now, I still have the backpack, and the backpack did great for me during winter when I was carrying a lot of equipment, a lot of winter equipment. But with spring and summer and fall approaching, I wanted to give this backpack a second try for different reasons. It's because one being that the Mr. Ranch backpack, I think personally it runs a little too hot. The straps are really heavy. The suspension is really beefy. So I didn't want to be carrying that during the summer. Second being that I'm starting now I'm going to school again, and I'm a full-time student. So I wanted a backpack that can do double duty, that can be awesome in the trail, but also it can be good while going to school, going around town, while biking around the city, while just riding in the back of a car, or while commuting. So I decided to give this backpack a try. What else? Just to give you an idea of what I've done with it, just so you believe me that I've actually put it through its paces. I've done multiple, I can't remember, count, like 20, 18-mile trips with it. The longest I've carried this backpack for has been 26 miles in a single day. That was over the span of about 10 hours. I was trying to test how comfortable the backpack was, what I could do with it, and I also was trying to test myself. But yeah, I have it right now more or less stuffed with what I will need for about a long day on the trail during the summer or late spring. Now, this is not really taking into account if it's going to be cold. And this is not really how big the backpack is. This backpack can carry quite a little bit more than this, that's for sure. But anyway, and I'm going to be going over what I have in here just to show you guys, to give you an idea. But yeah, let me see. Well, let's just get inside. As always, you have the top straps right here. You just undo that. Undo the zippers. Undo the side pocket, and again, as you can see, I have extra space in here. If I want, I can put more in here, but I usually tend not to. Just because I don't want to overload the backpack, because that has been one of the problems that I've encountered with this, but I'll go over that later. The many things that I do definitely like about this backpack, one being space. It's about 32 liters of space, which is just enough, I think. Just enough for, an EDC backpack, something that you're going to be carrying daily. And since I've been using this mostly for the summer, I have a lot of summer-oriented stuff, like, a hat, an extra water bottle. I still use my shemagh even during the summer, just to clean, clean my face, clean things. A lot of the times during the summer, I'll start a hike super early in the morning. Talk about starting a hike like 2 in the morning, just to avoid being in the sun. But that also means that I might actually be cold for a few hours. So a lot of times I'll bring an extra jacket. This is my Untitled Gear Ranger Hoodie LT. I got these a while ago. I might do a video on this. I don't know if any of you really care enough to know what I have to say about this jacket. Awesome little thing though. Oh, and I use the LT specifically because it fits better in this backpack. I find that the regular Ranger is just a little too bulky, and it takes just too much space, that more space that I would like it to. Now that's mostly of the main compartment of, you know, the big empty space right here. Now you also have this mesh pocket right here, so you may see that where I tend to usually carry, you know, like an extra hat. Sometimes I will carry gloves, just the stuff that I want to keep easy access to, that it's still inside the backpack. Now, if you go to the front, you will see that if you remove the beaver tail, there's two pockets, one being the top pocket right here, where it has the small organizer. I don't know if you guys can see that, but what's called, I've explained before that this organizer, it's a bit difficult to get to. It's a bit difficult to take things in and out. I really don't know how they can improve this, but whatever. What I usually keep in here will be like my cell phone, sometimes my headlamp, iPod, and whatever all the small stuff that I might want to keep just up here. I don't really use this for organizing so much anymore. I've actually been using Tad Gear OP1, but I'll go over this one later. But yeah, this pocket has a lot of nice organization, that if you don't have another organizer, this works fine. It's just a little hard to get to. Right in front of that you can see there's the Velcro patches, I mean the Velcro loops. I try not to keep too many patches here. I use these, what I think that calls it their Solace patch. It's a reflective material. This works great when I'm hiking at night, because I do like that whoever I'm hiking with can see me easily, or sometimes, you know, cars when I'm on the trail. Now if you go down here, you see this other front pocket. This one usually is behind the beaver tail, so you need to remove it in order to access most of the time, or at least just move one of the buckles off to the side. But what I carry here is usually the stuff that I won't need. I will only need if more of as an emergency stuff. You know, I keep a stereo pen to purify water in case I have to. Usually I bring enough water. Some paracord in case I have to use paracord. Extra batteries in case I need to refill or change the batteries on any of my lights, on my headlamp, or something else. Really big pocket. I really like it. It's actually very convenient to have, and it doesn't take any space from the main compartment, which is something I really appreciate, because I hate when a backpack does that. Yeah, that's out of the way. Let's close this one up. On the side pocket right here, the side pockets are actually, again, they're very convenient to have. Usually on one side I'll keep certain specific items, in a pair of sunglasses. These are my prescription sunglasses. What's called an extra battery. This is an extra battery that I use to charge my cell phone or my iPod in case, you know, I were to run out of energy. The other thing I like about these pockets that I've come to really appreciate, especially when I'm going to school and I'm not carrying a hydration bladder, is that I can carry an Nalgene bottle in here. And if I want to secure it, you know, I can probably, like, I can zip it up a little bit. I mean, that's not gonna really come out. But most of the time I don't need to do that. Most of the time I just throw it in there and I walk around class perfectly fine. Big pockets, you know, they've been great for that. They will fit a Maxpedition Fatty pocket organizer perfectly well. I've been using my Maxpedition organizer for a large first aid kit when I'm on a large group, you know, say it's 5-8 people. I don't have it with me this time, but it will fit in here. But it will push into the main compartment, so you just need to keep that in mind. The other side pocket, where is it? There it is. I keep a small first aid kit that has everything, you know, from a quick cloth to a tiny ice pack to, you know, the basic medicines. I try to keep you know, some Kleenex just to clean my hands, and a lot of times on one pocket I will not only keep my first aid kit, but also like a hand sanitizer, it's called ointment for poison oak, all that kind of stuff, because we have a lot of issues like that here in California. Again, same big pocket as the other side, but the difference with this pocket is that you have your flashlight cave pocket here at the bottom. There's a D-ring, here you can kind of see it, that you can attach a small lanyard and put I don't know, your keys, your small flashlight in here, and what's called you can keep it secure, so you're actually able to access this while you're wearing the backpack. I just noticed, I'm sorry if I'm sweating, guys, but it's 100 degrees in LA today. It's freaking hot, and I didn't really want to wait for nighttime to make this video because I have things to do. So yeah, so now beaver tail, I think many of you might know this. It has this stash pocket right here that you can put a rifle along. I'm pretty sure you guys already know that if you're watching this video. Now the other compartment in this backpack will be the hydration sleeve right here. I usually keep I've been using a Source hydration bladder for the longest time. I'm slowly switching back to the Camelbacks. I'm just waiting for a few things to appear in the market. But this works well. It works well for keeping your hydration bladder in there. But just keep in mind, like many other compartments, if the bladder is full of water, it will take space from the main compartment. So you just need to know that. And the other thing here is, you can see there's the here's the frame sheath. You can take this out of this pocket, not only to make the backpack lighter, but it makes it a little more flexible if that's what you want. I usually, even when I'm at school, I don't take the frame sheet off because I carry a lot of heavy books and materials, and having the frame sheet helps me a lot actually. But yeah, and as you can see, the hydration, you can route the hydration tube through here. It goes through the front of the pack right here, and then out the top. Now this is actually has become a problem for me for one particular reason. The Source bladders, the hydration tube is a little shorter. Actually, it's about 4 inches shorter than the Camelbacks. So when I have this backpack fully loaded, the tube comes up, like it rides up a little bit, and it makes it a little harder to reach. Again, that's not really a fault of the backpack, it's more of a fault of the Source bladders. But anyway, now the suspension system on this pack, give me a second here. Anyway, the suspension system in this pack is comfortable. I don't know if I'll say it's the best, because it really does depend on how much you're carrying, how you're using this. You really need to be smart about it, because I find it comfortable at about 23 to 25 pounds. Above that, I'm starting to, it's gonna get heavy. It's gonna be manageable, but if I'm carrying a lot of jackets, that has been the problem with this pack for me. The suspension, I don't feel can handle that kind of bulk, not the weight, but the bulk. It tends to throw off the backpack a little bit. At least, again, that's just my own experience, but that's my own opinion. Just like on the Lightspeeds, the shoulder straps are super comfortable, especially if you're carrying not a lot of weight, anything underneath 20 pounds. You're really not going to feel it, and that's not an exaggeration. I've had backpacks where I put 15 pounds and I can really start feeling the weight, but this one's, the suspension works really well. The low lifters that are attached to the front, you just need to make sure not to over tighten them, because then you're not doing yourself a service. They're there just for to do a certain specific job, but a lot of people tend to think that if you tighten this really well, it's going to be better for you. I've seen a lot of people make that mistake. It's called the chest strap, compression strap. The elastic on this one has actually held a little better than I expected. Still has give to it. and I think that's great. It has worked pretty well for me. I know some people think not to like it because the elastic will wear out over time and it'll become almost useless, but so far it has worked pretty well for me, and I like that you're able to remove it if you want to, especially again when I'm at school. I don't need a chest strap because I'm not going to be jumping up and down, so I like that I'm able to remove it. The hydration, or I don't know, this loops right here that help you organize the hydration tube and any other cables that you might have running through the pack. They work, but I have run into the problem that they kind of push the tube a little off, too much off to the side or too much to one side, and then I have to go, you know, look for it. I just prefer to run it through the tube right here, and then sometimes I'll just put a compression strap right here just to hold it in place. That works better for me. Now, this padding has been super comfortable on ridiculously hot summer days. Again, like it's 100 degrees today here in LA. It was 100 degrees. I've been out in 100-degree weather with this backpack. This gets soaking wet with my sweat, but I still feel sort of comfortable, you know, because it dries pretty fast. Now the belt actually, it's pretty comfortable. I've been very pleased with this. Whenever I carry it, I've been very happy with it. But again, it's not really meant to take a ton of weight. Don't expect to be able to carry like huge loads with this. It's a very thin belt, as you can kind of see. But the shape and the flexibility that offers you makes the ride comfortable. The low stabilizers, you know, will cinch the pack closer to you. That works great as well. And cool. One of the things that I remember some people complaining with this pack has been that, I don't know if you can really tell, but the pack is not flat at the bottom. It's actually more at an angle. A lot of people don't like that because when you put the pack, it tends to ride forward rather than backwards, or stand still. I find this to be a little annoying, especially if you want to just put down your pack and work from it. But it works great when you're carrying a lot of stuff in here, because it makes the weight go towards the bottom of your back rather than away from your back. Because when it's at a 90-degree angle, the bag will sag and the weight won't be as stable. And that works even better when you have these low stabilizers here at the bottom, because as you can see, it cinches down the bottom of the pack even closer towards the small of your back, which again, that's a really well done design from Tab, and is there for a reason. Now, the belt does have molding on the side, and I really like that it does, but I have ran into the problem that I don't know what to do with this. This is the stabilizer loop that goes through the front. It's a little difficult to have to put molly and then the loop through, and then it's a little more difficult to pull it, especially if I have a pouch that is a certain size. Like I've been using the GPP1 pouch from Tad in here, and when I'm able to put it in there, it works great. But due to the really bulky straps that Tad uses, I hate taking off this pouch. Really do. But again, when it's there, you know, I mean, it works great. It works perfectly. What else? Oof. Trying to get through this. This belt can be removed. You can hear the Velcro right there. And you can remove the belt. I'm not gonna do it right now because it's gonna take me too long. You can remove it and use it as a battle belt. It works great as that. It's actually pretty comfortable. I thought about using it on a few paintball matches when I'm running around with friends, but I haven't really gotten a chance to do that yet. Again, really comfy, really works well. Things that I really like about this pack, above all, are how flexible it is. How I can do multiple things with it. I can take it to to the mountain. I can take it to school. When I'm usually at school, I remove the belt and I remove the chest strap, and I sometimes even remove this buckles. And you know, most people I've actually have a few people ask me if I'm former military, and I will tell them no, obviously, because I'm not. But this pack does attract a little more attention than I would have wanted to. I thought because it chose a different color, it might be a little more subtle. Kind of is, but at the same time, some people still think, you know, they think military when they see this. The other thing is, I like the size. Is like, it's about a little bit smaller than my Mr. Ranch 3-Day Assault backpack, but it is more flexible, easier to handle. It looks more like a backpack. I'd rather use this for EDC or for, you know, going through airport than the Mr. Ranch backpack. And again, the beaver tail has been very, very useful for me on many occasions where I've had to carry things that other people couldn't carry no longer. The bottom straps, again, these loops are useful if you know how to use them. It's actually quite tricky to know how or when to use these things. Personally, I don't use them if I have the beaver tail, because if I have to use my trekking poles, what I will usually do is just put it through the beaver tail and then just cinch it down, because the loops are, as you can see, they're off to the side. In order to use them, I have to. I don't really know how I will do it, so I usually just don't use them. Bottom, you know, you have your compression straps in case you want to just put like a sleeping bag or sleeping pad. You don't really want to put a tent through there, but if you have to, you can do it. Or if you want to put anything else through there, they're there for you. You don't need to buy anything extra. That's awesome. And they have what's called this ladder lock, so you can just compress it down well. You have your drainage hole at the bottom. It will drain out water. Again, I know out of experience. It works very well that way. Now, I guess down to the cons. The things that I don't like about this backpack. One, again, obviously the front stash pocket. I mean, the front organizing pocket is not the easiest thing to use. So instead, I've opted to use an OP1. Again, another one of Pat's pouches. I've been using this to organize my smaller items. My flashlight, multi-tool, batteries, spork, lighter, whistle, and I have a bunch of emergency stuff in here in case I need to use that too. This has actually been a lot more useful, but this does come with its drawbacks. The one being that the beaver tail tends to sag. So if the backpack is not full, this pouch is gonna kind of get in your way. For the most part, if my backpack is not full, I take off the pouch and just put it inside. And the other cons that I can see with this pack so far have been not many, as you can see, because I can't really think of any. Perhaps, yeah, actually, perhaps one of them will be that this area doesn't have any molly, because sometimes I would like to take off the beaver tail and be able to use the pouch here, because I think that will actually be a little more clean looking and a little more useful, less cumbersome. But I don't know. It's a drawback, but not a huge one. What could be said? What else? Well, the other big problem, or the one issue that I've had that I've explained before, is you cannot carry huge, bulky stuff. Like, I cannot put like 4 jackets or 3 jackets in here, you know, and have the backpack like inflated like that, because that's when I find it to be a little more bulky, too much for my, like, I feel like I'm fighting the backpack more when I'm doing that. Besides that, I don't know what other improvements that could you do to this pack. Oh, actually, now I think about it, if there was one thing that they could switch, is this buckle. The ones on the shoulder harness particularly, instead of being just regular, regular mil-spec buckles. Maybe the one that has, I forget what's the name of the buckle, I think it's called the ladder lock, the one that has a little teeth, because I found that when I'm jumping or running on the trail and this backpack is constantly doing this because it's bouncing on my back, over time this this tends to loosen up, and that tends to happen. That could be one thing that they could change, I think. Maybe a really nice improvement. What else? Oh, and if you may have noticed, these zipper pulls, they did not came with the backpack. The TAD backpacks come with these ones, these little plastic ones. They're really good quality, high quality zipper pulls, high quality 550 cord. But I personally prefer these ones, this rubber tubing buckles, zipper pulls, because it makes it easier to pull for me, especially if I have to use gloves. And also because I was running into a little issue where whenever I was trying to close this backpack, the zipper pull will be like in here, and I'll do this by accident. But that rarely happens with these ones. So I switch all the zippers in the pack for this rubber tubing ones, as you can see, including the hydration one, and even on the pouch. But besides that, now a few of you have asked me if you can use this backpack for, which pack I would choose for EDC or for travel, this one or the Mr. Ranch 3-day assault pack. And personally I will go with this one. Well, I have been using this one, so that's obvious, I guess. But it's because this pack looks more like a backpack. The Mr. Ranch 3-day assault pack, it's awesome for the winter, well, at least for me, or when I have to carry really heavy tools like I don't know, hammers, drills, when doing volunteer work. But for regular, when I'm not carrying too much weight, I'm carrying a lot of small stuff, a lot of small heavy stuff, this backpack does the job. It's awesome. It has been a really good pack to me, and this is definitely a keeper. I don't know why I didn't keep it, I didn't give it a second try the first time around, but I've been very happy with it. It has seen a lot of use with me. It has seen a lot of sweat, a lot of dirt, a lot of mud, a lot of rain, and still going strong. It needs a wash, that's for sure. I need to wash it. But yeah, awesome pack, guys. Now this backpack is on the expensive side. It cost me about $360 after tax. I'm in California, so TAD will charge me tax. I don't know about the rest of you, but it is definitely on the expensive side of things. But it's American made, it's tough as nails, it's very durable, and it's comfortable and well designed. Don't get a backpack just because it's American made and it's because it's military, because that doesn't mean that it will work for you. It doesn't mean it's going to be comfortable. It doesn't mean you're going to enjoy carrying it. But TAD obviously took their time with this design. They made a backpack that does feel comfortable on you for long periods of time. Again, as long as you know how to pack it, how to carry it, this backpack will work for you. But this is definitely a good choice for you if you're looking into something durable. Now I know a lot of people who buy from TAD, perhaps the vast majority, don't really use their gear to their limits. They just use the backpacks for small everyday stuff. But I've used this many times, and I know there's a lot of you out there who use their backpacks for exploring, going through what's called foreign countries in the military, and maybe I've not put this backpack through the same level of paces, but in the time that I've had this pack, I've seen about 3 other backpacks that friends have bought at REI fail. Regular civilian outdoor backpacks, I've seen them fail while this backpack is still going strong, and I've pushed this pack to its limits in a few occasions. I'm hanging onto the backpack while somebody's hanging onto the bottom, and I'm able to lift that person with this pack without ripping, without hearing a single tear. So I've been very happy with that, very impressed. Now, yeah, I don't really know what else to say, guys. I've 6 months of having this pack. Don't regret it. It's a little dirty. It's a wash. Summer has been brutal this year. but having this pack on my back has always been comfortable, no matter how hot and sweaty it has been. And I'm actually looking forward to using it during the winter or during the fall, where temperature hopefully will drop considerably more. And I was actually thinking of using this backpack for a day hike to Mount Whitney. Some of you know Mount Whitney, so really, it's not an easy hike. And I'm planning on taking this backpack because allows me a lot of flexibility. Oh, and another big thing that I almost forgot to mention. This backpack carries most of its weight at the bottom. You're not going to have like distributed weight at the top, across the pack. It's mostly at the bottom, not only because of the sort of teardrop shape of the pack, but also because of the pockets. All three major pockets are on the bottom. And what this gives you is more stability because it keeps the center of balance of the backpack like at the same place where your center of balance is, which is around your hip area, which works great. But you need to keep that in mind. That works great when you're jumping around from rock to rock, from cliff to cliff. It has done well for me when I've done that. So yeah, just keep that in mind. And if you're wondering why the backpack looks that way, but yeah, I guess I'll just give you another video real quick of me wearing the backpack. I know this review has gone long, and my reviews tend to be long, but it's because a lot of the times I have a lot of things to say about a piece of gear. So just bear with me, and let me throw that other little clip at the end. Alright guys, so here is me wearing the backpack. Again, sorry that I'm sweating so much. It's a hot day in LA today. I think it was like 102 degrees outside. But yeah, as you can see, the shoulder straps of the pack, they're very low profile. So is the belt. I mean, I'm a wide guy. I have a big chest, so you can't really see the pack around behind me. But again, very low profile, very thin on your shoulders, which I think works great because it does transfer the weight very well. And yeah. Oh, sorry, the hunter is here with me. Maybe you can hear him breathe because it's really hot in here. But yeah, as you can see, the backpack rides really low on your body. It rides very close to your center of balance, which is around here. And it has a bit of a teardrop shape. But overall, the backpack is really stable. I mean, I'm not carrying a lot of weight right now, but it works very well. But yeah, it's an awesome pack. I've been very happy with it. If you are thinking about buying it, just make sure that the pack works for you. Don't buy just for the hell of it. Don't buy just for the hype. Don't buy it just because you think it's awesome without ever even trying it. Just ask people around, ask questions. Hopefully this video helped you decide. But yeah, hope you guys like the pack, and I hope you like the video. If you have any questions, just ask me. I'll try to answer as fast as I can. Thanks guys.